Good evening, people. Today I've decided to do a video of Becca's misfortune. I was supposed to do a live stream, but unfortunately I don't see how I'll do it, so I've decided to do it in video form. So welcome on board, and thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I really celebrate you guys, and you mean a world to me. So the teachers, students, and any other person interested in Becca's misfortune and other short stories, we are on story number 3. Of course, if you've read this book, you understand the third story is The School Trip by Joe Kiarie, running from page 29 to 45, guys. So let's begin with the setting. Of course, I know once I did discuss this, but because of the recent followers who are asking for it, let me just go back to it. The setting of this story, of course, is Nairobi Eastlands area, and it happens majorly in Naivasha's research station, of course, with few situations of Sigona Golf Club and Kinango. So guys, the sequence of the story, or rather the synopsis, flows as the following. There is a school trip that is conducted on a Saturday by students from Nairobi to Baringo. Maureen, Sifuna, and Rahoboru stand waiting for the bus as grade 7 students, and following a recent accident, they were on the road by 6:30 so that they are able to return home in time based on the ministry rules. Yeah, so the bus gets to where they were by 7:10 a.m. in the morning, and they join in under the guidance of Mr. Ondato, the science teacher, and Ms. Kamau, the math teacher, right? Have you ever gone for a trip in your school as with math teacher or science teacher? Rarely does it happen. You find most of the times it is teachers who are in charge of social studies and such things. Anyway, this is what happened in that school. So the bus hit a pothole at Sigona Golf Club just when they had left Nairobi, and they were on their way to Naivasha. And so the driver failed, tried a lot to control it. So later, a wheel is loosened, and when they reach at Kinungi, I know most of you understand Kinungi, just after Limuru. So the teachers had to come up with a new plan as they are waiting for the bus to be repaired. So Mrs. Kamau, talks to her friend who will take students to the Naivasha research station, because now reaching Baringo is a problem. How would you feel if you plan to go to Baringo, you know what it means by Baringo, and your teacher tells you, no, we are not going there, we are going to a different station? These students felt bad, but the teacher was able to control them, and they went there to study about conservation of trees, among other things, right? There is always an option in life. If one thing fails, another one should work. And that is the spirit that we normally encourage. Even as an individual, you might plan as a person that you're going for a given career, but when it fails, you must know that there should be a second option. People should always have second options. Life generally does not favor us. Whatever we want is not what we get what is available, right? Yeah, so let's go to character and characterization. The first character here is Miss Kamau. As you've heard, Miss Kamau is a teacher of mathematics, all right? So she's a very hopeful or optimistic lady. She promises the learners that they'll learn the best, yeah, from her friend who will take them to Basha research station, right? And you can check the evidence on page 35. She's very hopeful, actually, even as Mr. Ondati is afraid of what the consequences will be. I hope you have such people in your life, people who can make you hopeful even the time you have lost hope. Most times we lose hope. We kind of think that if we started something and it can't work, then we are not going to make it. But we get people to encourage us, inspire us, tell us that we can do it if only we focus. And of course, it requires you to focus also, because someone cannot give you hope and you are hopeless, then you make it. It always requires the two-sided aspect. You having the hope and also somebody encouraging you. So of course, we see this teacher is one kind of person who is very hopeful. The second character trait is that she is very caring. Why do I say so? We saw that she handed lunch packs to the learners in the vehicle on page 29. She also made brochures for the students so that when they go for the trip, they are able to just raise the questions to the people in the places they are. And that was a week earlier. Check that on page 30, right? Have you ever had such a teacher who does that? If you're going for a trip, she makes or he prepares for you brochures, so that you have questions you are going to interrogate, or do you just go for a random trip? Many schools are currently going for trips, but you realize that there is no plan. So you can suggest this to your teacher next time you're going for a trip, right? All right, so let's go to the third character trait of Madam Miss Kamau. Miss Kamau is reliable and very friendly. You can separate the two character traits, but I'm going to give them together because, of course, the illustrations are almost related. So when you check on page 33, when the bus is damaged, she quickly thinks of how to compensate the learners, and of course prepares that the next time they'll obviously go to Baringo, right? Yeah, so she asks them to get to Lake Nakuru Park, Hell's Gates, and somewhere else, the next time. But formally, she takes them to the research station. Most teachers wouldn't do this. They would just be stuck with the students somewhere, and they wouldn't think of an option. You can see what a loss it would be. You can obviously see that one of the students was actually shaken and thinking about how the rest of the learners at school would laugh at them. It's very demoralizing, and for you to go to school and other people begin to laugh at you since you did not have a trip that was successful, The next illustration, again, page 33, she had a friend at the research station in Naivasha and quickly called her to check whether she could actually offer them an option to assist the learners when the bus was damaged. And of course, the plan works, right? The students felt calm. The next character is Mr. Ondati. We see that Mr. Ondati is an understanding person. He sees students yawning and gives them a break that will let them have their lunch on page 42. He is also very appreciative. He acknowledges Miss Mulandi for saving the situation just at the end. Many of us don't remember to appreciate when people do us any good, right? Even by just telling them thank you. So that is page 34. Another illustration is page 44. We see that he appreciates students for being disciplined and cooperative. Do your teachers tell you that you have been good when you cooperate? Or do they only say it when you fail to do so? Actually, you can check on that and see why I'm telling you about this character trait. Another character trait is that he is open and frank and candid. They are related. He tells students what has happened to the bus. Immediately it happens to do so. Most teachers wouldn't say that. How many times have we seen ourselves in buses and people don't tell us what is happening? So we keep wondering whatever is happening. Yeah, so the next illustration is on page 34. We see that when they are fully stuck the second time and plan on an alternative, he informs the learners, and when some fail to understand, he tells them that they would, if they don't want to do so, they wait for the bus to be repaired and go back home. And indeed, the students understand that they need to, comply to what he's telling them. We can also see that he's very hopeful. He hopes that students will learn a lot also through the trip on page 30. And he's also responsible. Why? We see that he checks on all the learners when they enter the bus. If you don't check, one person might have been left out and you'll never know. And he uses the list, of course. Let's get to the third character, who is Maureen. And we see that Maureen is very assertive and restless. On page 31, what does she do? She's so anxious, and excited about going to Baringo, that even when the accident happens, she still complains how soon they'll be there, That is on page. All right, we also see the assertiveness, or rather restless aspect, when she wonders how they could actually go for a trip when parents had paid 1,500 shillings, Now, she's also intelligent. Check on page 37 to 38. It happened that she responds to a number of questions and the discussions Miss Mulandi holds, including rocks being part of the environment, while the study of rocks was geology, She's very hopeful. She hopes that when they go for the set trip at Baringo, it will be successful. And that is page 45, right? She's religious. We see that she thanks God given that the bus takes off. That is page 32. The next character is Raho. Raho is very emotional, or we can say hot-tempered. Why? When you check on page 35, Raho is outrightly irritated when Maureen says that they should not, they are not equal for having gone for the research section, you know. Raho also asks Maureen, a bit irritated, that she is saying Raho has an advantage over them. That is page 31. She is superstitious. Why? Page 33. We see that after the 2 accidents involving the bus, he believes that they should just go back home since they have encountered a bad omen. You know, when you believe in bad omens, it means you're superstitious. You believe in other powers that maybe you can explain better in your own culture. Intelligent, because he says that plants, water, and air makes the environment, and later asks how plants come in the discussion that is held in the forest. That is page 37 and 38. On page 39, we see that he also identifies Elgon tree, teak tree, you know, which is not easy for everyone. The bus driver is very careful. We can see that on the sea, when he sees fog, he begins to drive with a lot of precaution on page 31. We also see that when the wheel is, you know, almost getting loose, he's able to manage and control the bus that is veering on the road. Let's get to Miss Mulandi. Miss Mulandi is very reliable. We see that Miss Kamau calls her, asking for her to help so that they have option to take students as they wait for the bus to be repaired. And of course, she really offers a minibus and takes students to the research center, shows them around. That is page 34. We also see that students really thanked her for being generous and helping them to spend their day. She is informed. We see that while in the research place, she really teaches students a lot, and she knows trees by their names and what they do. She also starts to enlighten students about the trees and their functions, you know. If you check from page 37 to 40, you'll see the evidence. Now, we cannot miss to talk about themes, guys. I hope you're not very tired. I hope you're not, because we don't want to spill over this to a different lesson. So let's begin the thematic concerns, and the first one is education. Now, why do I say that we have the theme of education? If you check in the text, or rather the story, you see that students are going through education, and that's why they're able to go to school, and they are at grade 7. People like Maureen, Raho, and other pupils, right? Then another evidence is that the organization of the trip is in a school setting. Then the presence of teachers like Ondato and Miss Kamau tells us that there is education. Again, when students plan to go to Baringo for a tour, it was an educational tour, by the way. So that also proves education. Now later, as the students approach closing, Miss Kamau informs them that they are going now to Baringo, and that is page 45. And they end up in research station at Naivasha. And Miss Mulandi walks them through a variety of trees, functions, and that is a lesson on their own, right? You can check on page 36 to 42. The second theme is environmental conservation. You people, you've learned under health science and maybe other subjects the importance of conserving the environment. And one of the ways of conserving the environment is to plant trees and know its importance. Of course, in this story, we see Miss Mulandi telling us this, right? We see that students are being told that they should not clear forests, rather they should save the forests. We also see that she informs them that through soil conservation, especially when trees are planted, they can add humus through twigs, leaves, and branches. That is on page 40. Through plants like moringa. I think most of you have heard of this tree, right? Moringa is a very important tree currently helping to heal a lot of diseases. At the same time, it helps to fix nitrogen in farms. So through plants like moringa, Miss Mulandi informs the students that they can actually fix nitrogen in the soil, right? We have a theme of misfortune. Of course, we see that when students leave, the bus first gets an accident at Sigona Club. So the bus really hit the pothole and something happened, yeah, and veered off the road. Later on, as they left, again, the front wheel of the bus threatened to come out and they were almost getting into danger, as shown on page 32. Let's talk about stylistic devices and language use. We have idiomatic expression on page 32. The end of the road means, everything coming at a stop, right? The second stylistic device is dialogue. Guys, when you look at this story, Miss Mulandi is talking to the students and making them aware about the kind of trees at the research station and their function. As students are talking too, you can actually check for several illustrations from page 37 to 39. We also see Maureen and Raho holding a conversation as they discuss the fairness in the plan Miss Ondato is having. The brochures, the quizzes, the good plan. Maureen feels like Raho is the advantage because he comes from Lake Magadi, where birds such as those at Lake Baringo are. That is on page 31. We also see another discussion with Raho and Maureen because she is asking whether he's freezing, at page 32. Then Mr. Ondato and Ms. Kamau discuss after the bus is damaged and agree that they have got an option for the students to go to the research center. There is direct address. Direct address is coming when the driver confirms that the bus cannot proceed. It has hit a pothole and there is a very serious damage on it. Mr. Ondato also tells students about the accident and the presence of brochures, and also tells them if they can't agree with going to an optional spot, let them go back to school. We have onomatopoeia, words like veered, screamed. Then we have idiophone, shh, on page 30. Now let me give you an activity. I always like doing that. And this is an excerpt. Of course, that is how it is set for you guys. So the excerpt comes from the following place. The bus moved slowly onwards. After they had passed Kimende, the fog cleared and the bus picked up speed. When they were about to get to Kinungi, the left front wheel of the bus loosened. It threatened to come off. The bus tilted to one side. The driver had to stop it. It looks like this is the end of the road for us, the driver informed Mr. Ondato as they got out again. The driver bent over to check under the bus. I think we hit that pothole pretty hard, he added. Mr. Ondato checked on the damage and wondered what he was going to tell the learners. The driver asked Mr. Ondato to think of ways of keeping learners busy so that he could rush to Naivasha to get the mechanic. He soon left the Naivasha, leaving teachers and learners behind. Mr. Ondato called Miss Kamau outside. He told them about what had happened. We cannot let the children down. We have to find a solution, Miss Kamau observed. So, question 1. Explain any style you find in the passage. Question 2. What pothole is being referred to here? Question 3. Why was Miss Kamau afraid to let children down? Roman 4. What solution did Miss Kamau finally come up with? Roman 5. What kind of person is Miss Kamau? So guys, go through that question slowly by slowly. I'll be showing you the camera, on the camera, the exact part. Of course, I like doing that so that you can refer to it and also part of the notes. So thank you guys. I really am happy with the progress of how you follow me, how you check on the notes. Only that of late I've been doing a lot of reaction videos, but you can actually bear with me. And in case you need any help, just ask for it, because that is why I'm there for you. I already said that this is edutainment for us, meaning educative entertainment. And of course, we have reactions which are informative and critical to enhance critical thinking and also entertain in one way or the other. So guys, bye-bye for now, and I hope that you have learned greatly. We've taken about 20 minutes. Those are not too much, are they? And I hope I didn't go very fast, but if you want to actually get the nitty-gritties of this lesson, you can listen even twice or thrice. That is the beauty of a video that is posted on somebody's YouTube. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I have so many people who watch my videos, but they have not subscribed, because you get sometimes views even up to 3.5, 3,500. But the followers are below that. So it means some of you watch, but you don't subscribe. So kindly do a favor for me and subscribe to the channel. You also share my videos, like them. That means a world to me. And that is the support I ask from you, because actually, if you do that, you mean you've done a great favor for me. So don't be mean with that like. Don't be mean with that, following and subscription. Bye-bye. Thank you. And let's meet again. I hope you have a nice time. The year is almost ending, because once we end term 2, term 3 is the shortest ever. And if you want to order for the guidebooks for this grade 7, 8, 9 storybooks, running from the Stemmer Code to The Last Laugh to BEKA'S Misfortune to Bridges Without Rivers and Other Short Stories, Strange Happenings, the dolls, we call it what? We have this other book about Strange Happenings I've already mentioned. We have this other Tears of Joy, and we have another short story that is almost covered. Is it a short story? No, Hidden Package, and so many other books. Actually, there are so many. And as much as some people are saying they are not being tested, the actual sense of CBC or CBE is not actually to have the students just tested. It's to make them internalize these skills, so that when they go to senior secondary, they already have the skills. So don't deny the kids the chance to explore these books. It's very important, especially literature teachers. If you really love literature, you know what I mean. So guys, bye-bye for now. And thank you for your encouragement and support. Thank you. Good night. Wewe unatoa wapi tu nguvu ya kulala tu?